everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Mexico City Diablos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Mexico City Diablos. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Mexico City team as they interplay here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
We talk so often about his physical attributes. Of course, the Big Ben nickname, his ability to take hits in the pocket, his ability to extend plays and get outside of the pocket. But how about this for efficiency? Top 10 in career NFL passer rating, and he's one of the top 5 winningest quarterbacks in NFL history. That's pretty darn good.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger, first down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
First carry for James Conner. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Well, look now at our starting defense. This unit 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results are pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun, because if his game plan goes into effect early, We're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. North of 100 yards, the two scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Breaks a tackle. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball. Downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. And they'll run it here. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Here we go.
Right back to him on 1st down. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. We take a glance now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
2 incompletions haven't moved them any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw here. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys have taken a first quarter lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
Do you think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Parkey with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Parkey now set to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. Bulldozes past him. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The drive will start with Connor. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. The numbers there for Connor in last week's game. 22 carries, 92 yards.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get to play action and throw the ball deep later on.
Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got Hireman. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They run with Connor, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
One thing that really impressed me about Joey Bosa is that he doesn't sacrifice the run game trying to get sacks. This guy really knows how to hold the point of attack, great leverage, and then goes and sheds people and makes plays.
And at 6'5", 270, and it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And here now the offense heading back out there. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
They go play action here on 1st down. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. An Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of two ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey adds the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things. What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now it's countered. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
While there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That goes in the category of a play that the defense is going to cherish and excites them. A completion, yes, you give up the pass, but no gain. I mean, that's exactly what you want on defense.
And sets up the 4th down. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. They can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Now let's go.
They'll drop the throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now a play fake here on first down. Cameron Hayward in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 14-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Mexico City football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. He'll look to throw. On the crossing route, complete. It's Fields. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They'll set up to throw. And Davis has it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Here we go now.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Bud Dupree coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. And it's caught. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
They'll go with the keeper, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. It's their quarterback on his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. 4th and goal, and they just tell the leader of this offense to sneak it in there, and he got it done.
Yeah, all you're trying to do is follow the wedge that's created in front of you. Center, guards, tackles. Just get low, fire out, and you get low right behind them and get it over the goal line.
And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the 2nd quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Here's Connor. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Connor. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Joey Bosa able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it'll be fourth down.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. He's going to fire. That's caught inside the 20. And now they are knocking on the door inside Pittsburgh's 10. It's a big play there. 45 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. If you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Second and goal from the 1.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now back to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's third and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Okay, Brandon, work with me here. Let's analyze this situation. A touchdown here, that could be the knockout blow in the second quarter. But if they go for it and don't get it, that could bring life to the other sideline.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Back to throw here. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey with the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. So that drive spanned 5 plays. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very... Careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Everyone's got 4. Set. Black 20.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Roethlisberger. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Around the NFL, second quarter in Atlanta. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle to Beckham. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Remain here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season.
Here we go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this offense is running away with this one. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Parkey adds the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. That time a 6-play drive. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out come the Steelers. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Roethlisberger will throw. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And down he'll go at the 25. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
seems to be the front and the back in pass rush. They've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, that's Connor. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Here's Marquette King now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
All right, here we go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This one from 35 yards away. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the 1st half. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started over at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. And it's the 49ers who are out in front with that game closing in on halftime. Matt Breida, a touchdown run. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. Melvin Gordon has a touchdown there. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Equanimous St. Brown, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Zerline connects on the extra point, so they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Now a first carry for their fullback. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
On second down, Ingram. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a third down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. And that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
Here we go.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Back to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And this offense continues to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But boy, he can explode at any moment.
And when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. It's caught by Moncrief. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. So that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Set! Black 20! Black, what's that? 56. Mike.
Again, it's Connor. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Set! Black 80!
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. The last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Over the middle here to Wilson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll set up to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 23 yards on the play. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play.
Blue 90!
They'll look to throw here. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this offense is running away with this one. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. When you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Parkey adds the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make this a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. For Brown, that's his 5th catch. So 5 catches over 50 yards. You might as well set your watch to that. He does it every game.
Think about 2013. The only player in NFL history to have at least 5 catches and at least 50 yards in every single...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now.
Or
very
lights
quickly,
out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Marquette King now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And nobody in the stadium feels better than he does right now. Just a slew of touchdown passes. He's been spectacular.
And you and I both know this is a team game, one of the best team games that's out there. But right now, I've forgotten what the scoreboard even says. Just watching what he's doing.
Been fun.
That's been mesmerizing and a whole lot of fun to watch.
He's hoping to keep it going here in the 3rd quarter. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll set up a throw. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. And they rattle off a big one. 65 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now, because the offense is on his toes and punching, and there's another 1st down run right there.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Mexico City. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailbone. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And this offense continues to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
What's that? 130?
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Man open left side is Brown. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
And there's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds the #2 and #4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
He had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays harder to move him.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers are able to at least knock the deficit down a bit.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
What that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that team put 70. I actually saw that happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
And they'll run it here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. And I know that they double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we're seeing a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Side! Blue 30! Black is on!
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Blue 30!
To throw again is Roethlisberger. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And now back out comes the offense. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And what a big-time play there. 47 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Here we go now!
They'll run here with Ingram. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets them closer to the goal line with second down coming up. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action, throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll try and run. Ingram, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And this offense is running away with this one. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Parkey with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. And look at the numbers. They have gotten him more involved. I guess the question now, Charles, defensively, how do you make him less involved?
That's always the key question, isn't it? Sometimes other guys are starting to play really well, and you shift your attention to them. You got to make sure you got full focus on him, because he's so good that if you don't, he finds a way to make plays. Always have 2 guys in his vicinity, usually trying to bump him off the line of scrimmage and get him out of his route.
That one good for 10 yards, and it'll be second and very short.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never play their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here now the offense heading back out there. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that, because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsar? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us. Stay out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
Back to throw here. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They're going to look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They give it to Peterson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Parkey adds the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run by Adrian Peterson. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Completes it to Moncrief left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And a 3rd down pass falls incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. To put someone back.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Uncorks one for Davis, and it's knocked away and incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all, and to me it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead, or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. He finds Beckham complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the home team here, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And now it's off to the airport for a date with customs and a long flight north to the U.S. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will